Hello guys, this is Glenn Garcia from G4 Chess Club, teacher by profession and avid chess player by passion. I'd like to show you one of my games today against a player named Jack Green, rated 2196. The game opened up on a Sicilian defense, e4 c knight f e4 c5 knight f3 d6 and then c3. This is one of those what we call anti-Sicilian variations, which white delays the d4 pawn push in favor of other moves such as c3. Now we all know that when you play d6 leading to the neither or dragon, or maybe the Scheveningen variation of Sicilian, a d6 push will be likely to waste the tempo since you already spent a move there to move your opponent d6. So therefore I tried to find another way to equalize. I played knight f6 attacking his e4 pawn, and white plays bishop d3. White can also play bishop e2 here, since knight takes pawn cannot is not possible because of queen a4 forking the king and the knight on e4. So anyway, he proceeded with bishop d3 and I played g6. Okay, the normal line here is to play knight c6, and after bishop c2 threatening to play d4, I can play bishop g4, delaying the d4 pawn push, and then threatening e5 to at least establish a foothold in the center, and also neutralizing white's d4 control. Anyway, I played g6, bishop c2, bishop g4, and after h3 I have no other move than to exchange my bishop with his knight on f3, so as to have or to delay the d4 pawn push. So after bishop takes knight, queen takes knight, knight c6, as you can see I have delayed the d4 pawn push because its natural protection from the queen on d1 is absent here. So after castle king side, bishop g7, initiating a dragon-like formation, white played pawn to d3, and then I played castle king side. In this position, I want to place my rook here on b8 and to break this little guys here on c3 d3 by initiating a pawn avalanche or a pawn break here on the queen side by b5 b4 b takes c3. But the game developed as follows: bishop g5, knight d7. This is a kind of strange move for me, moving the same piece twice. I should have proceeded with my plan of rook b8 b5 b4 very quickly, but instead I tried to have a plan of putting a knight here on e5, followed by maybe before proceeding with my b4 pawn break plan. So white played queen e3, and I realized that if I place my knight here on e5, it will just be dislodged by f4. So I altogether abandoned that plan and followed it with another strange move, rook e8. Okay, this move initially intends to meet bishop h6 with bishop h8, preventing a bishop exchange and thereby making it difficult for white to get to my king. In most dragon-like variation, if this bishop g7 is exchanged for white's dark squared bishop, attacks would be easily be thrown upon onto black's king. So after rook e8, I somewhat loosened my protection here on f7 against my king, as you will see further into the game. After knight d2 b5, knight f3 a5, b4 anyway should have been played, rook a d1 b4, and then d4. White is getting something or an initiative on the center, which is most likely would be a concern for black here. I should have played queen b6 here, somehow keeping the tension on the queen side, but instead I played b takes c3. I've been lucky that white didn't saw d takes c5, which have been very dangerous for me, since I have this pawn here on e7 pinned, and a future c takes d6 would be of grave consequences for me, so he didn't saw it. I played queen b6, rook b1, queen a7, and then white played d5, releasing the tension on d4. I played knight e5, knight d2, and then knight b6. Now from this position, I was able to somewhat complicate the game and confuse my opponent into focusing his attention on my activity on the queen side. Normally, if I'm playing the white pieces, I would just simply ignore it and proceed with my king side plan via queen g3, f4, f5, takes, and then generating some play on the f file. But my opponent was disturbed by my activity in the queen side and decided to take action after a knight swap here. He played queen e2, and then after knight fork on a3, he realized that he has been disturbed by my pieces. Now, my original intention is to exchange this powerful light square bishop here by knight takes c2, but then this little pawn here would be defended, so I decided to win a pawn rather than to exchange my minor piece. So I played bishop takes c3, king h2, bishop d4, and then e5. Suddenly I'm in hot water. So white is threatening to open up my position via e6 and then create some attack there, followed by f5 and possibly invasion on the king side. But instead I played takes, and then queen b7. Now if e6, I can play queen takes d5, and after bishop e4 for skewering my queen on d5 and rook on a8, I could simply play queen to queen to d6 check, and then after bishop f4 I can play queen takes pawn. Bishop takes a8 would not be possible because of the pin on the e file. So what he did was he defended his pawn on d5 with his bishop e4, but then leaves his pawn here in e6 to be captured on e5. I was in a hurry, quite in a hurry, and didn't saw it actually, and I played queen b5, offering an exchange of queens. But then he realized his mistake and played bishop d3, and after queen b7, offering a repetition of the position, he realized it and played queen e4. In this position, if we flip it, you can see white is building up some enormous pressure here on the king side, and eventually I'll be overrun here. But I tried to think of something that would, like a trap, that if white falls for it, the position would be turned in my favor, and that's what happened. I played f5 after some thought, and he quickly captured it and passant, thinking that it was all free and it will further open my position. But after pawn takes pawn, I have a discovery attack on his queen on e4 and an attack on his bishop on g5, thereby winning a piece. He went on for deep thought after this move, and after queen f3, pawn takes bishop, he realized that if he plays bishop takes g6, threatening to capture my knight on a3 on the next move, I would simply play let's say for example bishop takes g6. I would simply play bishop e5, king h1, and then rook f8. I think no, not rook f8. Bishop e no no sorry. After bishop g6, I would play rook e3, so that after bishop f7 check, king h7, my knight on a3 is protected, and there's nothing to show for the piece. Rook f8 will follow and will cover my weaknesses, and especially his dark square weakness here. So the game proceeded with rook b1, check and readily capture it with my knight. But I played queen c7 check, d6 capture, king h1, rook f8, and everything is easy. So I won a piece and subsequently won the game, and he resigned on this position. Okay, thank you folks. If you like my video, please click on like and subscribe if you like to see my other videos. Bye bye, more power.